What's going on, guys? We're doing another coding video today on the M2, kind of a fun one today. So if you look behind me, it's really a gloomy day, dark clouds everywhere, and it's actually supposed to rain later. So I decided I'm gonna actually code in fog lights into my M2. So on the back of the car, this is mostly for my American viewers, what you will notice is inside your lights, and I actually got some water in that one too. What you'll notice is this light right here, and on the other side, this right here, are actually your fog lights. So very odd, but in the European market, those lights should actually be working. In the American market, those lights actually are not active by default, but there is actually a way to be able to turn those on. Now, one thing you will need for this is a OBD Bluetooth adapter for your phone. I have a link for one in my description, so if you want to check one out, that's the one I've been using for the last 2 years. Aside from that, another thing that I do highly recommend are a set of trim tools. If you have trim tools, it makes this job a lot easier. There are other things you can use, but that's pretty much all you need, so let's get to it. And another thing that I forgot to mention, you do actually need the BimmerCode app on your phone. There are a few other apps I believe that you can do this in, but BimmerCode is just, in my opinion, the easiest one and a must-have. So essentially the way the fog lights work on most BMWs, over here where you have the light assembly, these two buttons right here control the fog lights. So the top one, which you can't press, and the bottom one, which you can't press either, actually control the fog lights. So the top one is for the front, the bottom one is for the rear. The only reason you can't press them is because there are 3 little notches on them that prevent you from pressing it. But if you can remove those notches, which we're going to do in this video for the rear lights, then you can actually get the button to press. And once you get the button to press, all you need then is just a little bit of coding and you can get the lights to work. Now the difference in this video compared to other ones is in other videos talking about this, they talk about removing the vents to remove the entire assembly. Then you open the assembly, you push the button out. You actually don't need to do that. The easiest way is literally just to pluck this out. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. To pop this out, like I said, you need a set of trim tools. So ideally you need 2 of them. You could probably use something else like a butter knife or anything like that. But the way you remove this to avoid having to remove the vent and this whole entire assembly and then popping it out and doing all those steps is basically you just have to pop this bottom button out. So you stick one end of the trim tool on the right side of the button. The other trim tool you're going to kind of leverage on the other side. And just like that, you're going to pry it out. And it comes out nice and easy. So essentially you could see this has a little lip to it. So you're basically just hooking this lip, applying a little bit of pressure here, and it's just all gonna come out. So what you'll notice on the button is there's a little tab right there. And on the other side, you have 2 more tabs, 2 and 3. So these tabs are the reason why you can't push this button in all the way. So all you have to do is grind these down. So there's a couple ways to do it. You could use a knife or a razor to just cut them off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Dremel tool and I'm going to file them down. So right here I just have a basic Dremel tool. Ideally you want one of the little cone tip ones, those work just fine, but any way to kind of grind that down, that's kind of just the point. So let's get that done. Okay, I have my Dremel tool and I'm going to just work on filing these little pieces down. Alright, that's perfect. So now you can see that little tab there is gone, and on the other side those 2 tabs are gone as well. So it's not the perfect, most flush job, but it's enough to be able to press the button down. Let's put this back in the car. Then we're going to do the second half of this video, which is the coding. Now, moment of truth, what you'll see when we try to take this button and put it back in is that you can actually press the button. Whereas the top one you can't, the bottom one you could press normally. So that's pretty much it, guys, for the first step. So really that first step is just getting this button to work to be able to actually physically press it. Once you do that, the second half is really easy. It's all done through BimmerCode. You just select a couple different options, you hit code, and then everything should be working from there, and you should have fog lights. Now again, you do need an adapter to be able to do this second half, so you do need to be able to connect via Bluetooth your OBD port to your phone. So again, I have a link in my description to one of these from VPeak. Fantastic one. I've been using this one for 3 years. Highly recommend. Let's set up the second half. All right, so we have our screen share going, so we're going to connect. Now all these bits where it's loading, I'm just gonna skip these, so let's get that done. All right, so now we're going to go into front end module. Okay, now that we're in here, we are going to actually go into expert mode. It's going to give you a little warning because there's a lot more technical features there that you can change and adjust. So we're going to just hit continue. So we're going to go into 3060 LCE master. And from there, a lot of this stuff is going to be in German. So it's going to be, you have to kind of know what you're looking for. You're going to go into this one, NSL Verbaut. And you're going to, I'm assuming that pretty much means active. So the top one says not active, bottom one says active. So you're going to select Verbaut, hit back, and you're going to hit code, start coding. And that's going to be it for the first part. So essentially what this part does in the front end module is when you select the fog light, you're going to have the little symbol pop up on your dashboard to let you know that your fog light is on whenever you turn it on. Okay, that half is done. Now we're going to leave the front end module and we're going to go to the rear electronic module. Okay, now that we're in here, once again, we're going to go into expert mode, hit continue. So we're now going to go into number 3063, LC lamp mapping 2. So you're gonna find the one that says Nebelschlüssel L output, L function, R output, and R function. So for the left and right. So first let's go into L output. So off, and then NSL _1, you're going to select NSL _1, hit return. So that's output. Function, just make sure that's checked off. Then you're going to scroll down, R output for right. You're going to do the first one, NSL, hit back. Then you're going to go to R function and make sure that one is selected as well, just like it was for the left one. Now we're going to hit back twice, and that should be all the ones that we need to do. So now we're going to hit code and start coding. So now once this goes through, these are the actual functions that allow the rear fog lights to actually work. So what we did in the front end module was we allowed it to be active on the dashboard, and this will allow it to be active in the actual light bulbs. So that's going to restart the ECU. So we'll let that do its thing. And yeah, once you get the button working, once you get the front coated, the rear coated, that should be it. So once this finishes clearing its errors, coding successful, let's test it out. Let's see what we got. All right, now that we have that coded in, let's fire the car up and let's see if it worked. Oh, nice startup sound. So let's wait for everything to come off the dash. Okay, so what you will see is right there, the fog light button turns on and the front lights actually turn on and the rears. So you cannot drive only exclusively with the fog lights on. You have to have all the lights on in order for the fog lights to be active, which if you're using the fog lights, chances are you should be using the regular lights at that point anyway. Let's show you how it looks on the outside of the car. So right now they are off. So if we look, none of the lights are on. So now let's turn it on. So you can see lit up on the dash, press the button, and there we go. So you can see the rear normal lights are on, and then these really bright ones, the fog lights, those are now on as well. And what you'll also notice, the front lights are on as well. So like I said, you can't just have the fog lights on, it turns on all the lights in the car. So yeah, that's kind of a quick video. So that's pretty much what the fog lights look like on the 2 Series of your BMW. Now the process is pretty much the same on just about every BMW. It's the same general idea. You have to turn on the feature, you have to get the button to work, and then they're gonna work. Now you can actually buy the physical button that has the little fog light logo to replace there, that doesn't have the 3 little notches, but it's a very expensive piece. I don't even know if you can order the actual piece or if you have to just order the entire assembly. But for my American viewers, honestly, if you could just get those 3 little tabs off, you got fog lights pretty easily in your car. So really quick, easy mod. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. And yeah, that's all I really have for this video. So thank you so much for watching, Until next time.